For a few years in the 1970s, the Mr. Asia Syndicate made millions.
Heroin creates its own market. It acts like a form of plague.
Until jealousy, betrayal and murder brought it all crashing down.
Clark would have threatened him. Go and kill him. If you don't, I'm going to kill you and your wife and your son.
This is Mr. Asia, A Forgotten History. All episodes now available on iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
Over this weekend and next to catch up with some of the CEOs from Super Rugby franchises around New Zealand. Highlanders CEO Roger Clark joins us on Weekend Sport. Roger, let's start on the field. As we speak, your seventh. A win over the Drua last weekend, snapping a 4-game losing streak. So how do you evaluate where the team is on the field, first of all, with 6 games to go?
I think that's a bit of a tough one, Jason. At the moment, as you know, all teams with, I think, 3rd to 10th, there's only 8 points difference. So I don't think there's a lot in it. All the games we've played this year, we've been pretty close. We just haven't finished the big moment. So if we want to be part of the playoff contention, we're going to need to start finishing those big moments. And, we've got some big challenges over the next couple of weeks with some local derbies. And that'll be a good test for this young group.
The New Zealand derbies have always been tough, but have you noticed a lift in competitiveness in games against the Pacific Island sides and the Australian sides this year as well?
I think we all have. I think it's been an awesome competition, really, because the jeopardy in the competition has been so high. As I said, we know the Australian teams were taking the Rebels out. The Australian teams have improved tremendously. They've all got very good coaches, and we're noting the difference. The difference, as I said, we've lost every game against an Australian team, not by much, but and all you look at them and all say all winnable. But I mean that's great for them because they were the games they were losing in the past.
Are you happy with your decision to move Jamie Joseph into the head coaching role this season?
Look, I think you don't leave a great coach like Jamie on the sidelines, and he is a head coach. And Clark Dermley's flourishing under his leadership. It'll be good for Clark, and it's good for Jamie, and it's really good for the club. And we'll see the impact of that over the next couple of years.
I guess that could have been a slightly challenging conversation to have with Clark Dermody. Did he respond to it pretty well?
Well, I think if we put it in context, when Tony Brown left, we were keen to keep a local person involved, and so Derms was somebody that, it was a natural progression, but it wasn't a natural job shift, and it wasn't something that he was after. It's something he did because we asked him to as a club, and we needed him to do that at that stage. So I think Derms will be the first to let everyone know that he did a great job. He did the best he could possibly do. But at the end of the day, he wasn't in a job that he wanted to do. He was there because we asked him to do it.
Roger, I mean, let's talk about players. You have fewer All Blacks than any of the other New Zealand franchises. How difficult is it still to attract players to the Highlanders?
I think it's always been a challenge, Jason, but it's I think in the past it used to be through university, and that's the way it is now. We've built up, I think, 48% of our squad have come through the high performance program we set up 5 years ago. Hence why the average age of the team's so young. But our job's to create All Blacks. We had one last year. Like to think we'll have 3 or 4 this year, and in about 3 or 4 years' time we'll have 7 or 8. And if I look back at 2015, we had nothing, and then we had 7 or 8, and that's what won us the championship. So our job for New Zealand Rugby, as much as the club, is to create All Blacks, and the only way to do that is to build with from in. So you're never going to, and we don't want to bring All Blacks down into our environment. We want to grow them.
How happy are you, and what are the key planks of your high performance system, your academy program that is producing players of that calibre?
Well, it's looking at players that want to come down to university. I mean, our point of difference in our region is our university. It's one of the best in not only the country, but one of the best in Australasia. And so people that want to come to university, then we give them the same opportunity they get anywhere else around, like the opportunities to play. And if I look at a young guy, let's say Josh Tenblad, who's the New Zealand 20s lock, wants to go to university, really wanted to go to Otago, a little bit like the old days, Jason, when, the old Jamie Josephs and Jeff Wilson came down to Otago University, or came up in Jeff's case. Except these days you've got to put a rugby offer with it as well to show them that they're not only going to be able to do their degree, finish their tertiary qualifications, but we're also going to develop them as rugby players and show them that we can get them into the All Blacks. And if I look at a guy like Fabian Holland, he's probably ahead of the curve, and he's a guy I'd like to think will be in the All Blacks shortly, but has done that, come down, and he'll have finished 3 years of university by the end of this year. So that's the sort of thing we're trying to do, and that's the basis for our high performance program.
Are there any other challenges you face as Highlanders CEO that you believe are specific to you compared to the other New Zealand-based CEOs?
No, I don't think so, Jason. I think the model, the sports model, is a really challenging one for everybody, and everybody has their point of difference in their regions. I mean, I think of us. We talked about our high performance program being based there in the university. One of the biggest points of difference in our fans is our zoo, which is student based again. So I think we all have challenges, but we all have to create or use the resources we've got in our region the best we can. But the commercial challenge is probably the tough one for everybody, and it's not just you've seen the stories right across Australasia and then across the world. There's not too many sporting clubs, sporting franchises around the world that are fiscally doing really well.
Even given that, you feel optimistic about the future of the Highlanders and of Super Rugby?
Yeah, look, I think that I do, because I look at this would be the best competition I've been involved in. I've been involved for a long time. The audiences are up tremendously, both at game, I think 21% up at game. Broadcast in Australia up 30%, and in New Zealand 12%. They're incredible numbers, and what that does is drive commercial growth, and that's what we're seeing. So from a sponsorship perspective, it's higher than it's ever been in the clubs and growing. So look, I think the interest in the game and the fact that the competition at the moment is awesome is what's giving me that optimism, Jason.
All right. Well, it's great to get the chance to chat to you over Easter weekend, Roger. Thank you for taking the time. I really do appreciate it. All the best for the rest of the season. Tough running for your boys with a few derbies coming, but we look forward to seeing how they go for the rest of 2025.
No, looking forward to it. Thanks very much, Jason.
No, thanks for your time, Roger. Roger Clark, CEO of the Highlanders.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday, or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.